Okay, here we are. I've got your poster up here, Josie, and I've also got your PDF loaded up. And I'll tell you what, I'm digging this. I think it's really, really, the cover is fantastic. Good stuff. Um, yeah, that works. That definitely works. Good kerning, good spacing, excellent. That's spaced out nicely. Good job. I would say there's one area, two areas I think that I think are a little odd, and I think this area right here with the purple up there. I know you've got only one little area of purple right there, so I mean you're using. Oh, the notes are purple. I see. Got it. Okay. Yep. Okay. That stays then. My only other thing is that this, like a Rolling Stone, is that you're left aligned right here, which means that that's left aligned, and that little tiny bit right there is aligning with that serif in that modern typeface. So couple, I just saw. So I'm going to interrupt myself for a second. There's two things I'm saying. Well, one thing I'm seeing right now, two areas that need to be adjusted as far as kerning goes. I'm just noticing right now that area right there is pretty wide. Let's let that close down, and then also this between the L and the A, just a touch right there. But definitely that needs to get brought in a little bit. Okay, as I was saying, this area right here, that little green, there's so little of it there. It almost looks like a mistake. I would go ahead and take this like a Rolling Stone, pull it to the left a little bit, maybe even align it with that ascender for the L, and then bring this so that you have just a little bit more of that green right there. And I think that'll tie that in quite nicely. Okay, good color palette. Let's jump over here to the back page. Now, one of the things, I'm going to jump in here and take a closer look at your typography in a second, but as far as page mechanics goes, I don't think this is working. And the reason, Josie, I don't think it's working is because sorry. I don't think it's working because there's just too cluttered up here. There's too much going on. You've got the image, and I think the image is in direct competition with the timeline. So, in other words, we don't know. We're kind of fighting with ourselves going, do I want to look at the timeline? Do I want to look at the image? I know I want to look at the image, but the timeline's like right there. So the timeline's making me look at it, but I want to look at the image. See what I'm saying? So you got to be really careful with images. And anytime you have an image of a face, you know that it's going to draw hierarchy. It's going to draw precedence. Anytime there's a face in a composition, we'll look right at it. We'll specifically look right at the eyes, and it's hard not to. So that's something that's inherent in all designs. Okay, sometimes we have to work around that. I think that's the situation right here. We have to work around that. I have a couple of suggestions. I think one thing that we can do is this. Let's say we replace the timeline, move it down to the bottom of the poster, take this type and move it up here. Okay, you got this 3 columns that's going to work, right? So what I would do is I would just take this column, move it up. Watch your regs. That has to be adjusted right there. Anyway, move this up here so it fits in here. Okay, move this up, this text up so it fits in here. Reduce the size of the image, and then place that quote right underneath there. Okay, that's going to open up the whole bottom of the poster for the timeline. And I think the timeline, it's not working because it's interfering with that image, and that part I don't think is working. Otherwise, that timeline I think it's fantastic. Okay, now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here so we can take a closer look. Let's take a look at your type. Okay, now let me know. I mean, it's going to be it's going to improve your typography tremendously if you were to use old style numerals in there. Okay. And let me know if they're not available. But two things you really want to do, and two things that it's going to get looked at, is use of old style numerals and small caps. Talk about that in a second. I'm not even sure I would present these all in italic. I think they're difficult to read specifically because it's reversed on a black background, but it won't be once we move it. So it should be fine. It should be fine. Okay, so okay, I would say that set yourself up a type text block right here, okay, and I would left align these. I think they're really difficult to read center aligned. I would left align them. Try not to use any hyphens in these small sections. Try to keep your widths consistent. Okay, so in other words, if you're a little bit wider than the type here, just keep it that way. And don't vary. Like that's a lot wider right there. I think some of these, like that's a lot wider right there. So definitely keep consistent there. Okay, there's a couple of areas there where you can use old style numerals. I think you're fine without using them on a timeline. Let's take a look at your type down here. Okay. Good drop cap. I'm not sure if that's the right color. I would try that purple in there. That black is just advancing. It's really advancing, so it's almost set apart from the type because it's full opacity while you're using this light brown in the background. Okay, 1960s lower. I'm sorry, old style numerals there, there, there. Nobel Prize for Literature, that can be italicized. Okay, right. I know I'm not sure I even need to mention this, but if those are inch marks, make sure you use quotes. If I don't know if this um, typeface has curly quotes, but you definitely want to include your curly quotes there. This almost looks like we're getting yelled at. I would not present this in bold all cap. I think I would definitely present that in type. Um, you can present that in title case or just in regular traditional typeset. But that all cap, I think it gives the illusion that we're getting yelled at. Okay, there's old style, old style, old style. There. Okay, all right. Other than that, those are my comments. I think that other than that, you're looking fantastic. Let me see the front. Okay, yeah, good. All right, this has really come a long way. I mean, you've been working very, very hard on this, and the effort is just, I think, it's fantastic, and it's showing definitely. Okay, Josie, let's take care of some business real quick. I just want to ask you, or ask you if you will go ahead and take that survey, the course survey. You'll get an email if you haven't already gotten it, but you get that end of session course survey evaluation. So if you just take a few minutes and just fill out that evaluation, let answering questions like how you feel about the quality of the instruction and how you feel about the class, how was it written, and how was I as an instructor, am I proficient, am I able to teach this class, things like that, right? And it helps. It helps because if there's ever any adjustments that need to be taken in the class, if there's something that you didn't like about the class itself, sound off. If there's something that you didn't like about the way I taught the class, sound off. Because that way we can hone the class and we can fine tune it and make it even better for future classes. So I would really, really, really appreciate it if you were to take that. Again, you should receive an email. If you haven't, let me know. But you should get that email. You probably may have already gotten it, but let me know if you haven't. All right, great job. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.